All right, Tonya. Straw bales, how about that?
Yes.
Wow.
So it's kind of a new thing I've been trying lately.
Okay.
A straw bale garden is a great solution if you are not handy with building raised beds. Yeah, not so much for me. Or if you have a limited space, let's say you have mostly concrete. So it's a good solution for those reasons.
Okay.
If you have poor soil, or if you've planted your tomatoes in the same spot year after year and you've got pathogen buildup, fungal pathogens in your soil, this can be a good remedy for a while.
Good point.
Also, it's great if you have problems with your back bending over. This is less strenuous. It's very inexpensive, so there's a lot of good reasons to straw bale garden.
Okay. So how do we get started with the straw bale though?
All right, well, you have to use straw bale and not a hay bale. There is a difference.
So there's a difference between the two, straw and hay. Okay.
You want straw bales.
Okay.
And you choose a location with at least 6 hours of sunlight every day.
Okay.
And you can, if you want, put down cardboard or something underneath, but I normally don't, and we haven't here. And you want to make sure that you have your bale where the twine is on the side and the cut side of the straw is pointing up.
Gotcha.
That'll be important later when you start to dig into the bale and it starts to decompose. This twine is going to hold it all together and you need it on the side.
Okay.
Then you have to prep your bale, and it's going to take between 2 to 4 weeks to get it ready to plant. And the first thing that you do, the first 3 days that you put your bale out there, you have to saturate it with water, soak it really well. Okay. This will help the decomposition process to start, because really what we're going to do is, instead of planting soil, we're going to plant in the decomposing straw.
Okay.
And then the next thing that you do, days 4, 5, and 6, is you apply heavy nitrogen fertilizer to the top. And then you water it in really well. We've got some fertilizer here. You can use ammonium sulfate, which is, I believe, 2600, so that's 26 on your nitrogen. If you use that, you apply 1 cup to the top of your bale and water thoroughly.
Okay.
Or you can use urea, which is 4100. And because that nitrogen number is so much higher, you only use half a cup.
Gotcha.
So if your number is around 40-ish, half a cup. If it is in the 20s, a full cup.
Gotcha.
So we're just going to sprinkle this on the top like so.
And you said that has to be watered in,
Watered in thoroughly, yes. And so we've got our hose here, and I'm just going to start. You want to saturate it until it's just totally soaked. You want to make sure you use a water-soluble fertilizer. You do not want to use something like Osmocote that is slow release. That's not what we're after. We want to quickly get the nitrogen into your straw bale so that we can start the process of decomposition. Okay. And
so the nitrogen helps with that decomposition.
Yes. Okay. Even if you're used to composting, and let's say you're having you're composting and getting very hot, it's kind of slow to break down. You've got a lot of leaves and sticks. Even though it's not truly organic, you can throw a handful of high nitrogen fertilizer to give it a little boost. Nitrogen breaks down quickly. Okay. And so it's going to encourage your straw bale to start to decompose. Okay. So we do this days 4, 5, and 6. Now days 7, 8, and 9, you're going to cut the amount of your fertilizer in half.
Wow.
So if you were using a full cup a day, you're going to use a half a cup. Okay. If you were using urea, which is heavier in nitrogen, you're going to use a 1/4 of a cup. And each time you do that, you thoroughly water it in. And then after that, you keep it moist for a couple of more days, and then you walk away until it starts to decompose.
Now, how can you tell if it's decomposing?
Well, we have some that we've already prepped ahead of time. They are going to be easy to pull apart, a nice dark color on the inside, and not too steamy and hot.
Okay.
You can see this one is already growing mushrooms, which is totally normal because mushrooms grow when things decompose.
That's right.
It's not going to hurt anything. I'm just going to knock those off of there and get them out of the way. Don't let your kid or pet eat them. Okay. But that's totally fine. And then you can plant your straw bale one of 2 ways. You can use this either for planting transplants or for planting seeds.
Okay. So
I brought with me today some things to plant. I have a couple of tomato plants with me.
Got to have the tomato plants.
Of course, I'm a good southern gardener, got to have some tomato plants. So you can do 2 tomato plants per bale.
Okay.
And I'm just going to kind of pull this apart somewhat, and this is decomposing so well, it's going to be a piece of cake. You can, if you wanted to, put a handful of soil down in that hole.
Okay.
We've got a nice pile right here.
All right. Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fine to grow in.
Oh man, how about that?
Yep,
So that's all you do?
that's pretty much it.
Oh, wow, how about that?
I'm going to do one more tomato plant in this one.
A little bit of soil in there. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay.
And this will be fine for the growing season. And the beautiful thing is, when you're done with it, you can use this bale as compost for your garden for the winter.
Okay.
All right, you can also plant seeds in your bale too. And notice this one has had a lot of weed growth, and that's because it had a high hay content. So you're looking for straw bales, not hay, but we're gonna work with this one anyway.
Okay.
If you're planting seeds, you just take some nice soil, cover the top an inch or two, and plant directly into that soil bed. Okay, I brought some zucchini seeds with me.
Let's try some zucchini, y'all.
All right. I'm going to plant 2 seeds on each end, and 2 because you never have 100% germination rate. So just in case, I'm going to plant 2 next to each other.
Okay.
And should one fail to come up, we'll still have another.
Okay.
And if both come up, you just pinch back the weakest looking one.
Which is always the hard part. I have to
Yes.
pinch one back or thin it out.
Yes. But this is great. You can grow just about anything in these straw bales. I started cilantro back in February and one at the Dixon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's all there is to it.
That's it.
Now, I will say that this is not an organic method because we use a lot of nitrogen fertilizer when we do this. And also throughout the growing season, the straw bales are not going to give you the nutrients that might be found in your raised bed soil. And so you're going to have to fertilize with a nitrogen fertilizer, and really you want a complete fertilizer, not just nitrogen. NP and K, a complete fertilizer means that there's a number in each of those 3 spots that makes it complete. And if you can, one with micronutrients in it too, because the straw bale doesn't have the same good stuff that your soil normally would. So you're going to be fertilizing these a little bit more frequently.
What about watering?
You don't want to let your your straw bales dry out. So water them maybe every day, but definitely check on them every day.
Check on them every day?
Okay.
All right, and then I guess if you had any weeds, the weeds would be easy to
Exactly.
pick out,
you don't have to bend all the way over and struggle with them.
Wow.
Easy to plant.
Do you know of any major pests or diseases when you're growing in straw bales that may be a problem?
Your insect pests are going to be pretty much the same.
Okay.
This could help prevent some of those soil-borne fungal pathogens that we have problems with, especially on tomatoes.
Yeah, like blight.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this could help with that.
Okay. Well, Tonya, we appreciate that demonstration with our straw bales. I can't wait to see what it looks like later on in the season.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
Thank you much. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please click the subscribe button below.